So, what if chronic stress is actually the consequences of the patterns you're choosing and not the problem you're facing? Like, I know it's very common for us to blame our job, to blame our finances, to blame other people, to blame time. There's not enough hours in the day, to blame the demand on you. People keep needing and wanting stuff from you. Like, we think chronic stress is a result of all of these outside things. We think chronic stress is a result of the responsibility that we have on us as a entrepreneur, as a leader, as a spouse, as a parent, as someone who's in ministry. We blame chronic stress on all of these outside things. But what if the circumstance is not the problem, but the patterns are the problem? That realization changed everything for me. That realization that it might not be everyone and everything else, but it might be me, changed everything for me. Like, for a long time as an entrepreneur, in the past decade, I've blamed my schedule. First and foremost, I blame my schedule. I blame the hours in the day. I can't believe with all these advances in medicine and technology, we haven't been able to add 2, 3 more hours in the day. Um, I've literally blamed people wanting too much or not operating in excellence. I've blamed the system. I've blamed so many things for the result of my feelings of overwhelm, chronic pressure, and chronic stress, right? I've blamed my calling. Like, the assignment is so big, God. The assignment, the things that you want from me are so big, and I want to be obedient, but it's so much. I've blamed the assignment. But the truth is that what nearly broke me wasn't the pressure, it was my patterns. It was my patterns. And these are patterns that I kept repeating while telling myself I was being strong, faithful, and obedient, while telling myself I was being disciplined. And it wasn't until I faced those patterns head on that chronic stress stopped running my life, and that I was able to activate radical obedience. Now, you guys know I define radical obedience as doing what you're being called to do despite the presence of fear and uncertainty, right? And this concept of radical obedience that I've been teaching and preaching and preaching and teaching for years, still sometimes take a moment to finally settle in, because it can be challenging to activate. Like, obedience is one thing. Like, God, I'm going to do what you're telling me to do. I'm going to work on my health. I'm going to work on my money. I'm going to work on my assignment. I'm going to work on my relationships. Like, I'm going to do what you're telling me to do. But radical obedience, if you were here for my first episode of 2026, you know, is a higher demand than just average obedience, right? And it wasn't until I started recognizing my own patterns that I finally got out of my own way and begin to eliminate chronic stress, not manage it. We don't manage chronic stress here, we eliminate it. And I really started activating radical obedience. So today, I'm going to break down for you guys 3 patterns that nearly broke me. I'm going to break down 3 patterns that really changed the way I started doing things, making decisions, and living my life, so that you don't have to learn the hard way. So I'm going to explain it to you so that you can learn from my lessons, my mistakes, not just as a leader, as an entrepreneur, but also as a human being who's just trying to really do the best they can in this life, as a human being who just has goals and dreams and hopes and desires like everyone else, right? As a human being that's not that different from any of you guys. So I want to tell you the 3 patterns that kept me in a state of chronic stress. And I want to tell you how I broke those patterns, what I had to do instead, so that you guys can start doing the same. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Instagram. What's up? Welcome back to Monday Morning Keynote with yours truly, Coach Lisa A. Smith. I'm the Chief Strategist at Clarity, our community and our platform dedicated to eliminating chronic stress for professionals, leaders, high performers, and achievers. And one of the things that it's really important to me is that we don't just tell people to eliminate chronic stress. We don't just tell people, you don't have to deal with that. We have to give you the how, right? And so when I come on here every Monday morning at 10 a.m. EST, my mission is to give you the how, right? It's not just enough to say a beautiful punchline, but then people have no context on how to execute. So today, I am going to break down for you the patterns that nearly broke me, that kept me overwhelmed, burnt out, stressed out, all of the things. And I'm going to give you those three things. And I'm going to tell you where this comes from today. As you guys begin to tell me what you're sipping on, if this is your first Monday morning keynote, we have a tradition here, which is we always bring our emotional support tea. So that means when I gets to going and I get in my bag, I'm more than likely that's going to say something to you that's going to resonate so deeply that it's going to be pearl clutching. It might be a little edge snatching. Your toes might get stepped on. And so what we like to have around here in this ecosystem is we like to have something warm and cozy or refreshing and hydrating to sip when we start getting our feelings. You ever get triggered so much by somebody or something publicly, but you don't want to reveal it? So you maybe start looking down, you start fidgeting with stuff, you start picking lint off your clothes. Like that's what the emotional support tea is here for, right? So anytime I come driving down your street and I'm talking directly to you and I'm all up in your business, just take a sip. Just take a sip. So, YouTube, what's up? Let me know what exactly you're sipping on in the chat. I would love to hear it as we get started. Now, y'all, I've been on this combo for the last several weeks because it's so yummy. So, I have mint tea mixed with a blood orange. So, I'm like, got a two for twofer, right? So a nice herbal blend. We're currently at Clarity. We're in the midst of our 30-day vegan salt, oil, and sugar-free challenge. And so we can't have any caffeine. And so I'm doing all herbal teas. And it's been phenomenal to find a combination that's so soothing. So right now I am sipping on mint with a blood orange tea. Let me know what you guys are sipping on. What emotional support beverage did you bring in today? What do you got? Because I know for a fact, I know unequivocally without a shadow of a doubt, with 100% certainty that I'm gonna step on some toes today with these three patterns I'm gonna break down. So I'm telling you right now, be very cautious. It's better to be prepared. What they say is better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Amen. So what emotional support beverage do you have today? Shout out to Dr. Candace. She said, I'm sipping on my water. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Tamika? Sipping chamomile tea, looking at the snow outside. That sounds like a lovely picture. I love that. I love that. Good morning. Good morning. Let me see. Amenetre. I'm just gonna spell it. Says sipping on sage tea. Sipping on sage tea. I love it. Opal says she's sipping on warm lemon water. Sheila says she's got ginger, ginseng, and lemon. Come on, powerhouses. Like I know my challengers in the chat, right? We be so extra. I love extra. Like what extra adaptogenic beverage or product that you put in your tea. Look at me stumbling over words, trying to read y'all stuff. Stacy says she's sipping on lime and cinnamon tea. Come on now. Consistency over comfort says lavender chamomile tea. Everybody got the gather here, ladies and gentlemen. Gather here. Hey, what's up on Instagram? I see orange spice hot tea. Ooh, orange spice. Okay. I love it. I love it. So good. So good. Okay. So today should be phenomenal. We're going to have a good time as I come down your street, snatch your edges. You know the rules. If you didn't wear your edge control, it's not too late to go grab some, put a cap on. If you got some steel toe boots in the closet, slip them on. Let's get into your business right now. Here are three patterns that I had to break to eliminate chronic stress and to finally fully activate radical obedience, which we define as doing what you're being called to do despite the presence of fear and uncertainty. That's how we define it, okay? That's how we define it. So here's the thing. Chronic stress is anti-alignment, okay? Anti-alignment is at the root of chronic stress. That means that somewhere in whatever area your stress is in. So your stress might be in your relationships, your stress might be in your career, your stress might be in your health, your stress might be in your healing, your stress might be, in your finances, your stress might be in your spirituality, your stress might be in your identity. Chronic stress is the result of misalignment in one of those areas. Whatever area that stress is in, Misalignment is at the root of that. Now, the reason that's important is because the three things I'm about to share with you are the anti-alignment, right? They are what's at the root of being misaligned. So if misalignment is at the root of chronic stress, the three patterns that I'm about to share with you are at the root of misalignment. Okay? Do you see the connection? And the reason that's important is because everything comes down to alignment. We cannot be radically obedient to what we're being called to do in this season of life if we're misaligned. There has to be alignment. There has to be alignment. It makes me think of, all of this cybersecurity, and you ever land on a website and before they'll let you fully into the website, some forms of cybersecurity has a picture. They have a picture, and the instructions will say, make this picture line up perfectly so that you can enter. Has anybody ever done that on a website where I just had to do this recently. It was like a picture of a horse, and it was like the eyes was over here and the rest of the head and nose was over here, and it was like move the ticker on your screen until the horse's face is completely symmetrical, right? So there was misalignment is what I'm trying to say, right? So there was misalignment in the picture, and it wasn't until I aligned the picture properly that I was able to enter into the website. Well, I need you to see the goals, the dreams, the freedom, the love, the health that you're praying for. That's the website. That's the website. And it's right there. It's super accessible. It's right there. Like you're on the site, but you can't get fully into the site until you align the picture on the outside. Was that a good, somebody tell me in the chat, did I nail it or did I lose people? I don't know which one. Somebody tell me in the chat, did I nail it or did I lose you? But that's how I want you to see this conversation today. Like you own the site, like it's blurred in the background, like the money you're looking for, the love you're looking for, the health you're looking for, the disease free, the all clear that you're waiting to hear from your doctor, the you are healed that you're waiting to feel in your spirit. Like you can see it, but it's blurry on the website. And it's not until you align the pictures, it's not until you align the photo that once those things sync up, then you'll have full access to everything that's blurry right now. Sheila said, nailed it. Okay, I only need one. Like, I don't even need that many people to tell me I nailed it. If one person understood that gives me the permission to move forward. Now, the goal is to impact every person in the room. Let's be clear about that. But Sheila said I nailed it. So if that makes sense, then we can keep going. So the whole point of that analogy is misalignment is at the root of your chronic stress, not the problem you're giving it credit for, but it's the misalignment. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's get into the three things, the three patterns, the three risks of chronic stress. Okay, here's the first one. A lack of audacity. Now, in our 30-day vegan SOS free challenge, salt, oil, and sugar free challenge that we're facilitating right now for our Clarity community, right? I told them the theme for this challenge for the month of January is audacity. I told them the theme of the challenge is audacity. And I've never been this bold with our challenges before. I've never been this bold with our clients before. But I decided to take it up a notch because I still don't think some people are really getting the importance. I really don't think some people are getting the importance of being more radical, right? And being more aggressive when it comes to our goals, whether it be health or any other area. But this challenge, is mostly about health. And so I remember moving to a new city, just about coming up on 2 years ago. I moved to a new city. Now, I'm born and raised in Detroit, and I've lived in Detroit my whole life. Now, I've moved away a couple of times, but I came back because the move was meant to be temporary. Like I went to do an internship in Rome, right? So it was never going to be a permanent move, right? I went to go teach in China, and that was only an assignment for a year. So, I went and lived in South Africa for a bit. So I've moved away a couple of times, but I always came back because none of the moves were curated to be permanent. But recently, and when I say recently, 2024, so coming up on 2 years, in 2024, I moved permanently, right, out of Detroit. And I moved to a new city. And it's interesting. I moved to the state of Texas, and it's interesting that when I told people I was moving, or when I started revealing that I had moved maybe a year after moving, I wasn't telling everybody. And I remember people would always ask me, what is it about that city that made you want to move to it? What is it about that city that made you want to move to it? And to this day, no one has ever asked me what it is about Detroit that made you want to leave, right? So inevitably, when they ask me, what is it about that city? What's it about Texas that made you want to go to Texas? My answer is always the same, which is it actually was less about getting to Texas and it was more about leaving Detroit. And they're always like, oh, and I always say, because the truth of the matter is I could have went to any city, because the goal is not that something was waiting for me in Texas, is that I was trying to leave Detroit. And so what's my point of telling you this is I left Detroit because I no longer felt aligned with Detroit. What's my point of telling you that? It is I had the audacity to leave a city or leave a place or leave a circumstance strictly because I wasn't happy with it, not because I was waiting for or had gotten a more attractive opportunity somewhere else. I literally could have threw a rock at a map and hit a new city and went there instead. Like, all right, let's go to Utah. Right? Like, oh, okay. Let's go to Iowa. I could have just hit a state. Like, let's go to Portland. I'm gonna go over to Oregon. Like, let me go to Los Angeles. Because everybody wanted to know what was it about Texas that made me want to go there. But nobody asked, what was it about Detroit that made me want to leave? You don't understand sometimes how much audacity it takes to stop doing something strictly because you don't like where you are. Everybody makes the assumption that in order to move radically, i.e., relocate to a whole new state, whole new country if you want to, a lot of people make the assumption that there has to be something in the new state, in the new city, in the new country that's dragging you out of your current circumstance. Very rarely do we ask, well, what was it about that made you want to leave? We always want to know, well, what was waiting for you over there that was pulling you? No. I wasn't pulled over there. I was leaving over there. The first pattern that some of us need to break in order to eliminate chronic stress and activate radical obedience is you have to stop being afraid to move, because status quo tells us you don't move unless there's severe pain. You don't move unless you have a guarantee of success somewhere else. You don't move unless there's an opportunity like an opportunity of a lifetime waiting on you. I didn't have not a single iota of a thing waiting for me in Texas. Like, I could have picked any city I wanted. I could have picked any neighborhood I wanted. There wasn't a job where I needed to make sure the commute wasn't too bad. There wasn't a partnership. I was leaving Detroit, and I wasn't running from anything. I just was not satisfied where I was. I remember when I left my 9 to 5 as a social worker back in 2012, and my best friend, she told me, she was like, you are the first person that I have ever witnessed leave a job just because you didn't like it. These were her exact words. I didn't even know we could do that. Those were her exact words. I didn't even know we could do that. What she was saying was audacity. For some of us, the lack of audacity is keeping you stressed out. You think it's the problem. You think it's the circumstance. It is the audacity. It is like, let me get this straight. You woke up and decided, I'm sick of these severe winters. You woke up and decided that I no longer want to have to wait until May, June, and July and August to take a walk outside. I want to go live somewhere where I could take a walk outside year round. You telling me you moving because you want to take walks? You're just moving because you can't take walks here, and there's a highly likelihood that you can take walks over there. The audacity. Your lack of audacity is keeping you stressed out. It is you are doing things that people expect you to do. You are doing things that society says you stay at the 9 to 5. Society says you make sure you have benefits and health insurance and all. And I'm not telling y'all not to have that. I'm just saying a 9 to 5 is not the only way to have it. You think all the tons of entrepreneurs out here have no health insurance? It's so crazy that people say they stand at a 9 to 5 that makes them miserable because of insurance. It's so crazy that people say they stand at a 9 to 5 that makes them miserable because of a retirement plan. You think entrepreneurs don't have a retirement plan? Everything you're staying for, you can have, but you got to have enough audacity to say, oh, I don't have to get insurance the way the majority of people get it. I don't have to secure my retirement the way the majority of people secure it. I don't have, you mean to tell me? Yes. So it took audacity for me to leave a job strictly because I didn't like it. And let me be clear, I didn't leave it because I hated it. Now, because people understand when you say you left a circumstance because you hated it. People understand when you say you left a circumstance because you had reached a point of no return. Like people understand when you say you left a circumstance because it had got so dire that maybe it was life or death or no. Listen, I'm using my words very intently. I left my 9 to 5 because I didn't like it, not because I hate it. I definitely unequivocally could have survived some more years. I was not miserable. Like as a foster care worker, I used to work with the teenage foster children. They would come to the office every month. I would teach them and do life skills with them. You know, I got to know them. I would visit them at their school. I wasn't completely miserable. And as a foster care worker, I worked in the field. So I had the state car. You know, I wasn't cooped up in the office all day staring at the walls. I was able to get fresh air. I was able to, stop and get a hot tea if I wanted to. Like it was kind of a flex. Like it was actually fun sometimes. Like my 9 to 5 was actually fun sometimes. Like I did not leave because I was miserable. And I love telling that story because people always think that audacity has to be preceded by a breaking point. You do not have to wait for a breaking point to have audacity. So that's the first pattern I had to break to eliminate chronic stress, to activate radical obedience is the lack of audacity. Like I dare you leave something when it ain't that bad. Like I dare you address something in your relationship instead of letting it boil over. And you are now at your wit's end because you have been suppressing your emotions and your feelings and your real desires for so long. Like I dare you not to let the pot boil over. I dare you to do things that go against what the average person does or what society tells you to do. The audacity to leave something simply because you don't like it, don't care for it, is a thing. I remember when I had the audacity to take a blanket back to Target because I was like, I slept under this and it was itchy. Audacity. And I'm like, look, I'm not about to bring it back. I don't want to make you think I didn't use it. I'm not about to be playing sly. Your brand, because it was Target brand blanket, your brand doesn't stand up to my definition of excellence. I like to return this. So all of our audacities is not created equal. For some of you, you are ready for the level of audacity that says you walk away from something strictly because you don't like it. Others of you, just returning an item that's been used but below your standard is audacity for you at this stage. Like, where do you need to start? Because the more audacious you are, the more audacious you become. And you look up and you doing big, bold things. Like you going to multi-million-dollar companies and demanding stuff. I remember when I had the audacity to tell somebody that in order for me to solve their problem for them as a coach, they was going to have to pay me 5 figures. Some of you can't even fathom fixing your mouth to say that number. Like, yeah, I can't help you. You've been doing it for free so long. You've been thinking in lack and scarcity for so long. You don't even have the audacity to put a real number that makes sense on your service or your product that you sell, that you offer. The audacity. I dare you. I dare you. Okay, so that's number one. Let's get into number two. Let me sip this tea before it cool off because I done told y'all it's a really, really good blend. Okay. Number two. Okay. Number two. Mm-mm-mm. Listen, I've been a business coach. So I officially started business coaching. When I say officially, I mean like for money. I officially started business coaching in 2021. Okay. And as a business coach, I initially started off helping people who wanted to be a coach like me because I really believe in just selling a result that you've already gotten for yourself. And so I started my business accelerator, my plant-based certification. I have a certification for people who want to get certified in plant-based nutrition because I started my whole career as a health coach, a plant-based health coach. And so I created my own plant-based certification. I launched it in 2021. And when I launched it, there's kind of like two sides to it. There's the certification where I teach the science, but then there's also the business side where I teach people how to now take the science and make money. And when I launched it, something happened that I never expected. Which is here I am teaching the exact process that I've used to develop a successful coaching company, right? I'm like, okay, Lisa, think of everything you did. Now put it in steps that other people can follow that make sense, that's simplified, that's not too complicated, that's not too tech heavy, that doesn't cost a lot of money. Like I spent so much time, y'all. I spent so much time packaging my process for creating a successful coaching company into a linear curriculum that other people could follow, right? And I put this process together and I'm like, activate. Like I got people enrolling in the certification, people enrolling in the accelerator, and I'm like, it's go time. Let's go. Let's go. Let's help people heal. That's the thing I was most excited about creating my certification. I was like, oh my God, I can duplicate myself and we can help more people at once. What a phenomenon this is about to be. But guess what happened? Over and over and over again, I would hear from our clients inside of the certification, inside the accelerator, and they're like, I'm not ready. I'm still working on me. I just don't think I'm qualified to help anybody else yet. I need to study more. I don't know enough. Lisa, I can't answer questions like you. I don't know the science like that. Like, I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I just repeatedly, all I heard was like, I tried to record a video or I tried and it wasn't good. And I don't look good. I don't like the way I sound. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say, like over. And I was so floored. I'm talking about floored because I had no idea that I needed to build in to my program content around that, right? Like the thing that was tripping people up, because I'm thinking, don't make it too complicated. Like make it simple. Teach them how you create content. Teach them how to build out an offer. Teach them how to sell the offer. Teach them how to deliver the offer. Teach them how to retain clients. Teach them how to set their prices. Teach them, like, I'm like, I got all that. Boom, here's what you do. Here's what you do. Here's what you do. And I'm like, boom, boom, boom. And out of all of the problems that I thought I was solving, honey, I did not make room to solve the biggest problem of all. The second pattern that's keeping you chronically stressed and disobedient is a lack of confidence. Is a lack of confidence. Confidence comes from evidence, and evidence comes from action. Listen, the keynote about to get good now. Okay? Listen very closely, y'all. The lack of confidence will keep you stressed out because when you don't believe in yourself, when you don't believe in God, and when I say believe in God, y'all say y'all believe in God, but then your actions don't have any faith rooted in them. Like you believe in God, but then you only doing stuff that you can control. So your actions speak louder than your prayers, than your words, than your devotional every morning, right? It's the actions you take when you close the Bible. It's the actions you take when you close the devotional. Like, your actions don't say you believe, right? So you lack confidence in yourself. You lack confidence in a higher power. Like, you don't believe you're covered. You don't believe everything will work out for you. Like, there's no belief. There's no belief. So this lack of confidence means you don't take risk. This lack of confidence means you don't take chances. This lack of confidence means you don't put yourself out there. And as a result, you stay in your current circumstance and you call it stress. And you say there's no good fish in a dating pool, but you don't have confidence to put yourself out there or for you to initiate a conversation with somebody. Like, you say nobody wants to buy your product, but you don't have the confidence to show up and sell the product. Like, nobody's going to buy it if they don't know it exists. Nobody's going to buy it if you don't ever talk about it. Like, people got to know you have an offer. Like, you don't have the confidence. Confidence comes from evidence, and evidence comes from action. Yeah. This, so the we like it's my finances like that's causing me to be stressed. But you got to have enough confidence, number one, to face your debt. Number two, to get help if you need it, like to raise your hand and say, I don't know what I'm doing. I know how to create debt, but I don't know how to get rid of it. Like, you got to have enough confidence to talk about these things with your spouse or your kids. You got to have enough confidence to show up and tackle the problem. You got to have enough confidence to look at the numbers. You got to have, like, the reason there hasn't been any movement in your business, or like, you worried about writing a book, but you don't even have enough confidence. Do you know that once you write the book, you got to sell it? I don't even know if y'all know that. Like, we creating so much pressure from having to write the book. Wait till you feel the pressure of having to sell it for real money to people. Like, do you just want to write it and give it away? Like, you need confidence. Your lack of confidence is the real cause of your stress, of the overwhelming pressure. Like, do you know how much confidence it takes? Let's talk about relationships for 2 seconds. Let's talk about relationships for 2 seconds, because a lot of people that are in my audience, they have told me privately, and they have told us as a community publicly, the challenges they're having in, like, their relationship, like in their marriage and their romantic relationship. And we've also had people who have shared challenges they're having in their relationship, like with like their kids and things like this, or their siblings, right? Okay. So what does this have to do with confidence? Like, so let's say your stress is in the area of one of your relationships. Okay. Maybe you're in a relationship that's no longer mutually beneficial, that's emotionally abusive. Maybe you're in a relationship with somebody who doesn't have a personal growth mindset. So they're stuck in these old ways and these old patterns that are hindering the growth and evolution of the relationship as a whole, right? Okay. So you're in a marriage or you're in a romantic relationship and it's not blissful, but you are not willing to have a difficult conversation. What may be difficult for you? You're not willing to tell the person what you like or don't like. You're not willing to tell the person how you feel. And I mean, make it plain. I don't mean beating around the bush. I don't mean trying to sugarcoat it. I don't mean dropping hints. I mean being direct. I didn't like when you did this, or I don't like when you do that, or this has made me feel this way a long time ago, and I have resentment now. Like, you're not, and you want to know why? A lot of my people say they don't broach these difficult subjects in these relationships is because they are afraid of being alone. They are afraid that if they broach these difficult subjects, that it may end the relationship, it may end the friendship, whatever type of relationship it is. That is a lack of confidence. You're saying, I don't have enough confidence that I will be able to find another partner, that I will be able to find a blissful relationship. The lack of confidence in your ability to attract the bliss that you're seeking is causing you to stay muted in a relationship where you're privately suffering. That's insane. So for you to get out of that situation, you need the confidence, and that you will be chosen again. You also need the audacity to speak up. Let me tell you, these patterns, y'all, you need the audacity to speak up, and you need the confidence that if I speak up and it doesn't end well, that I will still find love, find bliss, find happiness, find peace, find joy again. Can you imagine? You ain't got to imagine. Some of y'all already doing it. Don't worry about imagining. Just open your eyes and look at your real life. Can you imagine staying in a circumstance miserable because you don't have the confidence to tell somebody how you feel? You don't have the audacity to tell somebody how you feel. Some of y'all don't even have to imagine this. You just got to open your eyes. That's your circumstance right now. The lack of, because you believe that you're not choosable. What is it about you that makes you think you might be alone forever? What is it that makes you think that your current pick, because you picked them, let's be clear about that. Let me sip my tea on that. Somebody, hold on. Your current pick that you picked when your picker was picking, okay? What makes you think that has to be what I got to deal with from here into forevermore? Because my package is not going to be attractive to someone else somewhere else at another point in time. The lack of confidence, not being willing to do hard things like tell someone what you like, what you don't like, what you need or what you don't need in that season of the relationship, because you lack so much confidence about who you are, about how you present, about what you look like, about how your lack of confidence is keeping you in a relationship that's no longer mutually beneficial. Your lack of confidence is keeping you at a job. What makes you think I'm not qualified? I don't have the degrees. I didn't finish school. I don't talk like that. I don't write like that. Your lack of confidence, you mean to tell me you believe you deserve to be miserable in your 9 to 5 because you lack confidence to put yourself out there for another opportunity that might be more fulfilling and mutually beneficial? Let's get on to number 3. I think y'all got it. Your lack of confidence is keeping you stuck. Readiness cannot show up where action doesn't exist. Confidence comes from evidence, and evidence comes from action. Have the conversation. Confidence comes from evidence, and evidence comes from action. Submit the proposal. Confidence comes from evidence, and evidence comes from action. Tell them people you got a product for sale. Let's get into the third and final pattern that's keeping you stuck. Let's get into the third and final pattern that's keeping you stuck. Now, and then I got a bonus for y'all that I want to share with y'all because it's MLK Day, and we gon' talk about that. Okay, all right. So I told y'all I was a business coach, and I'm also, health coach, right? Some people call me their life coach. I don't know, right? But I'm a coach, right? And a lot of times when people are facing, situations and hard things and all of these things, right? We start making up stories about how they could turn out, and those stories prevent us from taking action. This is not new information, right? So for many people, we don't live in the present moment, we live in the future. And because we live in the future, we're doing all the what ifs, right? And so the what ifs causes us to stay still. So like, what if I fail? What if people don't like me? What if I'm rejected? What if it's not perfect? What if somebody asks me a question and I don't know the answer? What if, right? So what if I'm perceived like I'm better than other people, right? If I come out and do this or share this, like what if, what if I hurt somebody's feelings if I release my book because I'm telling my story and it involves other people and I'm worried about how they'll be and how they'll, right? And so it's all of these what ifs, right? And so what happens is, and this again just comes from my decade of coaching. That's where my data is coming from, right? So this is not theoretical. But what happens is we have all of these what ifs that swirl around in our minds, okay? And then the what ifs, they're like little organisms, and they grow legs and tendrils. And the what ifs with these legs and tendrils, they start walking and running, and then they bring other stories with them, and then it gets crazy. And then what happens is we stay stuck in the present moment. We don't do anything because the what ifs start running so fast. Like these little living what ifs. They like they go so far and so fast down these rabbit holes, and we can't keep up. And so we get so afraid of the what ifs. We get so fearful. We get so paralyzed with the fear. We get so paralyzed, and not just the fear of failure or the fear of what other people think, but like the fear of success. And we get so paralyzed with that we never take action. And essentially what is running the show is our emotions, right? And so we get into the future so much, the what ifs become so much louder than the present moment, that they begin to inform our decision making, right? And so it's like, oh, I want to invest in myself, and I know I need this. Like, I know I need this program. I know I need this coach, or I know I need this blueprint that this, subject matter expert is offering. But what if I don't follow through? Or what if it's too hard? Or what if I don't have time? Like, it's all of these what ifs. And so we get into the future and then we lose the opportunity. The deal is gone, right? And so essentially what happens is our feelings start running the show. Our feelings start informing our decision making. Our feelings become the primary mover in our decisions. The third pattern that's keeping you chronically stressed and disobedient is a lack of emotional intelligence. A lack of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is probably by far the number one skill that I've developed in the past 5 years that has kept me sane, that has kept me healthy, and that has helped our business grow every year. Emotional intelligence as a leader, emotional intelligence as an entrepreneur, but also emotional intelligence as a daughter, emotional intelligence as a partner, emotional intelligence as a boss. Like, it is fundamentally one of the most useful skills you can develop is emotional intelligence. Unmanaged emotions is the greatest threat to alignment. Say it again. I told you that misalignment was at the root of chronic stress. Unmanaged emotions is arguably the greatest threat to alignment and radical obedience. Mismanaged emotions, unmanaged emotions, the lack of emotional intelligence is arguably the greatest threat to freedom. We get in our feelings so much. We get in the future so much with the what ifs and the what if nots and the hows, and we like our feelings like, but I don't know how to do that. I'm not good enough. I don't want to raise my hand and ask for help. Like, we get so fearful. We get so beside ourselves with feelings. We feel the butterflies in our stomach when our finger even hovers over the unmute button to ask a question. Like, I don't want to speak up. Like, who feels butterflies in their stomach when their finger hovers over the unmute button and it's time to talk and it's time to ask for help and it's time to say, I don't know, and it's time to say, I don't have the answers, and it's time to say, I messed up. Who gets butterflies when your finger hovers over the unmute button? I'm not just talking about unmuting on Zoom. I'm talking about unmuting in your relationship. It's time to speak up. I'm talking about unmuting on your job. It's time to speak up. I'm talking about unmuting at that church. Tell them people you don't want to do that no more. You've been volunteering for years. You driving yourself crazy. You wearing yourself out because you don't want to be perceived a certain way by stepping down in the volunteer role. Like, hit the unmute button. How many people, your feelings, you get so caught up in your feelings. You get so caught up, you let the butterflies tell you that maybe it's not a good time. You interpreting the butterflies all wrong. Misinterpretation of the butterflies is the real problem. You interpreting you get so nervous, you get so flustered when it's time to speak up, when it's time to advocate for yourself, when it's time to advocate for something you believe in. You get so flustered when you got to go against the group, when you got to go against the tribe. How many of you, like, little finger be shaking when it's time to unmute? Should I say this? Should I say this? Should I ask? Should I ask? Should I raise my hand and say I have a better solution in this conference room with all these suits that got more degrees than me? They know better than me. I'm just going to stay quiet. You been had the solution. Now look at you, miserable in your role because y'all got the same problems on the job. And then guess what? The job ain't miserable because they doing it wrong. The job is miserable because you staying quiet. You been had the solution, but you wanna speak up because their names are bigger than yours, and they got a comma after their name that's followed by random letters, and people know more than me, and you got your inferiority complex is so big that you stressed out. Your feelings of inadequacy is taking over the room. That's the elephant. Your feelings of I'm not the imposter syndrome is raging so loudly. The emotions are going so crazy. The what ifs done grew legs and ran so far into the future that you can't keep up with them. The lack of unmanaged emotion, the lack of emotional intelligence is keeping you stressed out, burnt out, overwhelmed, and disobedient. Now, I told you to bring your emotional support beverage. Now, depending on how long you've been on here, the cup might be empty. Go and get a refill. We about to wrap this up, but you might need it for these last few minutes. Your lack of emotional intelligence. I remember when I made the decision that like I was going to sit in my feeling. I remember thinking about that. I remember the literal thought. I remember it was actually, can I be transparent? It was actually after a breakup. I remember having a breakup. It was the end of a relationship. And I remember, like, it didn't feel good, right? The breakups don't feel good, even if it's the right decision. It's just, there's still a period because emotions, right? So there's like a period of like, eh. And so I was in that, right? And I remember sitting on the couch at my home in Detroit. And I remember I remember thinking that I wanted something like a snack. I remember thinking that, like, oh, I want, I think Skinny Pop was my thing at the time, and I remember thinking like, oh, I just want to drown myself in a bowl of Skinny Pop. I just want to, or for some of us, like, I need a cocktail, I need a drink, right? Like, what's your thing? How do you self-soothe? I want to go buy something. Maybe it's shopping. You self-soothe, right? And I remember sitting on that couch in my feelings about this healthy breakup that I was very proud of, but it's still a thing. And I remember thinking, you will not touch that popcorn. You will not have a drink. You will not eat anything. You will sit here and you will feel. You will feel the sadness. You will feel the disappointment. You will feel how much time did I just waste on this? Right? You know what I mean? You will feel the anger. You will feel all of it. And you just gonna feel it. I remember daring myself to feel it without trying to soothe with a snack. Without trying to soothe with like, I'm not gonna drown myself. I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't exist. I'm not gonna suppress it. I'm just gonna feel it. I remember thinking, ooh, Lisa. Now, granted, I'm a personal growth, personal development junkie, so some people's minds don't go here, but I'm just telling you what my mind did. I remember thinking like, ooh, this is your opportunity to get better at emotional intelligence. Now, who's thinking about that at the end of a relationship? Me, I am, right? So I literally remember thinking, ooh, you about to sit here and be sad. And it was like a challenge. It was like, can you sit here and be sad without doing anything else? Can you sit here and be angry without doing anything else? Like, can you control your emotions? And can you feel that and do all the things that you need to do? Like, yes, hold space for your emotions. And sometimes you do have to make adjustments to your schedule in your life to feel your feelings. That is necessary sometimes. That's called creating capacity. But I was like, I wonder if I could be sad and still go to the gym. I wonder if I could be sad and still show up with excitement and zeal to coach my next client. Like, I wonder if I could be in the midst of this breakout. I wonder if I could manage my emotions so well that I still do the things that I need to do. Now, there are some things that I can make adjustments for. Like, you know what, girls, I'm not really feeling dinner. I just kind of want to sit at home and be sad. Like, I'm not saying like put on a face and lie, but there's some stuff that still needs to get done. Like, sir, now you done took 2 years of my life. What you're not about to take is this body, yada, yada. Sis still going to the gym. Like, how much are you going to let your emotions take? You know what I mean? Like, there's stuff that needs to be done. There's stuff where you might want to make adjustments because you don't feel like being around people or you don't feel like whatever. But what you're not about to take, sir, is my health. Now, I done gave you 2 years. You ain't about to take this waistline, right? What you're not about to do is keep me out the gym because I'm sad. Like, what you not about to do, right? And so the importance of developing emotional intelligence is so helpful, is so useful. If you had to choose between one of the three patterns I broke down today, lack of audacity, lack of confidence, or lack of EQ, choose this one. Because the moment your feelings stop informing all of your decisions is the moment you can get rid of stress. What would happen if you weren't so afraid of rejection that you had the audacity to speak up to your superior at work? What would happen if you weren't so afraid of perfectionism that you had the confidence to turn on the camera and turn on the mic and finally talk to the people that God has led you to serve? Like, what will happen if you didn't let your feelings stop every doggone action you're supposed to be taking? I just wonder. I just wonder. What was the pattern for you? As I wrap this thing up, I want to talk about MLK for a second. Just thinking about MLK reminded me of something that I want to make a point of saying today. But before I do that, as I do that, you guys drop in the chat for me what pattern resonated with you. Was it the lack of audacity? Are you not being bold enough? Are you so pressed about following the status quo, or so pressed about other people approving your decisions that you don't make audacious moves? Like, you don't make them for the simplest of reasons. Like, you don't have to be miserable to leave a job. I wish we would stop thinking that. Like, you don't have to have a breaking point to leave a relationship. Nobody has to disrespect you to step down from a position that you volunteer in. You just got to be like, I'm done doing this. Like, we want reasons so bad to justify our decisions because we're worried about disappointing people, and it's keeping you stressed out. Like, you were the director of that. You were on the board for a couple years. I don't want to plan this no more. I don't want to host Thanksgiving no more. Tell them people. Be audacious. Stop doing all this stuff that's keeping you overwhelmed and stressed out because you lack audacity. Like, just tell them I'm done. It's enough is enough, right? And so let me tell you, if you lack audacity, it's because you're waiting for permission that may never arrive. It's what it is. If you lack audacity, you're waiting for permission that may never arrive. Stop waiting for somebody to give you permission to move abroad. Move. Like, oh my God, what made you move to Mexico? The tacos. Like, I don't know. It ain't a big deal. I just feel like they make they black beans and brown rice better. They're going to be like, what? Yep, that was it. I'm not running from the law. I ain't found no boo in Mexico. Like, it's the taco. Just blow somebody's mind this week and have the audacity. Okay? Number 2, okay? If you lack confidence, it's because you're waiting for certainty that only action can provide. If you lack confidence, it's because you're waiting for certainty that only action can provide. It is like, there's just not, I'm not going to say that's just not, because God works in miracles and he is a way maker, okay? But the chances of you just waking up one day with a cape that says super ready on the front and on the back is just very unlikely. Like, confidence comes from evidence and evidence comes from action. You're just waiting to have super ready on your chest, and it's just, the chances are slim. You might have an epiphany, you might have a revelation moment, you might have it, and all of a sudden all the fear and all the uncertainty just falls off of you. But in case it doesn't, try it this way. Just do the thing. Just be bold enough to speak up. Somebody else is going to love you again if this marriage just happens to end off of you being honest. Like, it's safe. Like, go ahead and start drafting the exit strategy from the 9 to 5 that's keeping you miserable. I promise somebody else going to pay you for your skill set. Like, I dare you tell them people you now charge for what you've been doing for free forever. Like, just throw a price tag on it. Like, quit playing with this thing. The confidence. You lack confidence because you're waiting for certainty that only action can provide. Okay. Do 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 do. Look at all the look at all the takeaways coming in the chat. Mm-mm-mm. And the emotional intelligence, y'all. You're letting your feelings make your decisions instead of riding shotgun. Your decisions still, I mean, your feelings still matter, but they should ride shotgun. Does that make sense? Your decisions still matter. They just need to get out the driver's seat. Your feelings still matter, excuse me, but they just need to get out of the driver's seat. Your feelings have a place because your gut, your intuition, whatever, it has a place, but they should be shotgun. Okay? So you lack emotional intelligence because you're allowing your feelings to stay in the driver's seat. Let them ride shotgun on this next decision. Let them ride shotgun on the next decision. Let's see what happens. Okay. Woo, child, we went through a lot today. Some of y'all was off. I want to make sure y'all got a good message. Listen, I don't know when you're listening to this. Some of you guys are watching or listening to this on a replay, but this was recorded on MLK Day. This was recorded on MLK Day, and I feel like it's important for me, especially with my personal goals. I think it's important for me to address this. So I'm going to read off some of y'all takeaways. So keep dropping them in the chat here on YouTube. YouTube, y'all going crazy. I love it here. What's up, IG? I saw some of y'all's come through too. I got to scroll through the chat on IG. But before I do that, I was listening to an interview recently with Bernice King. And if you don't know who that is the daughter of Martin Luther King Jr. So I was listening to an interview with Bernice King, and she was actually being interviewed by T.I., right? Shout out to Tip, who about to come out of retirement. Ha, motivation, right? Shout out to T.I., who about to come out of retirement, and he been dropping samples of that new work, man. I love a good rapper expeditiously. So anyway, I was listening to T.I. podcast called Expeditiously, and he was interviewing Bernice King, the daughter of Martin Luther King Jr., right? And he asked her a question that I thought was so provocative, that was so poignant. Tip asked Bernice King, he said, "What do you think people get wrong about your father, about Martin Luther King?" Right? He said, "What do you think people get wrong about him?" And Bernice said that he wanted a colorblind world. He wanted a colorblind world. And I was like, "Oh, that's good." Because that really is, I know for some of us, our perception of Martin Luther King, right? It's like, because he was nonviolent, because he advocated for nonviolence, some of us might perceive that to mean that it meant that he wanted, nobody to see color, and that, he wanted us all to, be treated a certain way, where but he was like, she said, no, 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 no. He acknowledged color. Like, he understood that there was a difference, black, white, brown. Like, he didn't want a colorblind world. He just wanted people of color to have all of their rights, right? But he wasn't an advocate for a colorblind world. And I thought that was so interesting that Bernice King said that about her dad. And this question, what do you think? The thing I want to focus on, though, is not her answer, but the question that Tip asked. So when Tip asked her, what do you think people get wrong about him? It made me think about legacy, right? Now, one of the things I've said here on my YouTube channel, on my channel before, is that I have no interest in being a hidden figure. And I think it is a fine time for me to say this again, right? Audience a little bigger. You guys lean in a little more now when I talk. So I want to make it a habit to repeat this, at least on an annual basis, so that there is no question. My personal goal is to make Black history, okay? I want to make Black history by extending the healthy life expectancy for people of color in marginalized communities. We die prematurely from things that are preventable, that are avoidable, and that are reversible. We die from chronic stress, preventable, right? We die from diabetes and heart disease, reversible, type 2 at least. Like, we die from this stuff, right? And so I want to extend our healthy life expectancy. That means if most of us are only healthy until the age of 60, I want us to be changed. I want the average healthy life expectancy to be 75. Health expectancy and life expectancy are not the same thing. So I want to extend the healthy life expectancy for people of color. And I want to make Black history, right? But in making Black history, I have no interest in being a hidden figure. So when T.I. asked Bernice King, what do you think people get wrong about him? I said, Lord, help me to say the things that I believe. Help me to share my perspective in a simplified way that is understandable and digestible to the people, so much so that nobody ever has to ask, what did we get wrong about her? So that nobody ever has to wonder what I stood for and what I didn't stand for. Like MLK was taken from us prematurely, right? So it's not at any fault of his own. I'm not saying he did it. He traveled the world speaking and delivering these dynamic messages, right? But I hope and pray that I am able to do justice on my assignment so well that what I believe, what I stood for, is not left up to somebody else's interpretation. And I believe I can only do that by being a public figure. Like, if I want to make Black history, what I'm really saying is I intend to be a historical figure. But the thing that must precede being a historical figure is that you must be willing to be a public figure. With being a public figure comes risk. There's risk to being a public figure, as we know from our Black public figures, right? There is a risk to being a public figure, and it's a risk I'm willing to take in an effort to be a historical figure for my people, because I don't want to, while I want to make history, I don't want my figuredom, I don't even know if that's a word, to not be known until I'm gone. Does that make sense, y'all? Like, I don't want documentaries made about me later where everyone that's contributing to the documentary is giving their interpretation of what they think I stood for and what they think I meant when I did that and when I said that. Like, that's so important to me. When I heard MLK's daughter say, no, 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 that's not what he meant. What he meant was, and I'm like, yo, we about to make Black history with the work we're doing at Clarity, with the work we're doing in the plant protocol. Like, anybody that ride with me is going to get a result. Like, we going to make history. We're going to do everything in our power to transform your life. And I'm going to do it from the stage. I'm going to do it from the stage. I'm not interested in being a hidden figure, because we have seen time and time again, over and over again, the risks to your legacy that comes with being a hidden figure. So I just want to make a call to action for anyone that's listening right now, for anyone that's watching right now, and you too feel called to the masses. Not all of us are called to the masses, but you too. I'm only talking to that person that feels called to the masses like myself. Don't make a decision. Don't let it be up to history. Make a decision not to be a hidden figure. Make a decision. Like, if you stand for something and you're really passionate about something, and I don't care what the passion is, it ain't got to be in health. I don't care what you care about, but whatever you care about, make a decision not to be a hidden figure so that nobody ever has to ask on a podcast years and decades after your death, what did you mean by that? Like, let them people know now. Like, so I hope y'all know. Like, no, we watched her YouTube video for 3 years straight. You got her all wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be, we read her books. We watched her such and such. I listened to her podcast. I got them on tapes, archives. Y'all record this, screenshot this, listen to me. I refuse to be a hidden figure, and I understand that to become a historical figure, I first have to be a public figure. And so I am going to save my people. I'm going to preach my message, and I'm going to do it from the stage. I'm going to do it from the mic. I'm going to do it in the public eye, and I'm going to do it as an introvert. Everything you just listened to, everything you just heard was an introvert talking. So the assignment doesn't care what your personal preferences are. My personal preference is to stay quiet, to stay private, to stay to myself. As a matter of fact, I think I shock and surprise people sometimes who meet me in person if I'm not on the stage or the mic, because I'm super low key, chill. Like I don't have this big giant personality, right? But I do have a whole boatload of passion. And so give me the right topic and I turn on. And that's a lot of you too. And a lot of you think that who you naturally are is not wired to be in the front or on the mic or making history. And that's just not true. So happy birthday, MLK. We love you and thank you for the work you've done for us. And we're so grateful. That's all I got for y'all today. Let me read some of these takeaways before we get out of here. Shaquanda said results guaranteed and is. I dare you to come into one of our challenges, one of our programs, one of our communities and not get a result. You better quit playing with me. I'm going to change your mindset. I'm going to change your business. I'm going to change your waistline. I'm going to change your eating habits. I'm going to change your love. I'm going to change something. How dare you walk away from me and not be changed? You better quit playing with me. Shoot. Yes, Shaquan, results guaranteed. Honey, how did y'all like this morning's Monday morning keynote on this here MLK Day? Three patterns that I had to break to eliminate chronic stress, activate radical obedience. And then we round this thing out with historical figure, not hidden figure. Public figure, not hidden figure. You hear me? Let me go back up on some of these takeaways real quick. Because I need to make sure y'all got it. Oh, I might be a bit of all of them. Yes. Okay. Let me see. Because shout out to Sandy. Shout out to Sandy. Sandy says, lack of confidence resonates with me the most. I don't think I really realized this until you just spoke on it the way you did. Yes. Very good, Sandy. Very good. I'm so glad I said something that hit home. Come on now. Results guaranteed. Let's rename the pod. Results guaranteed. Sheila said emotional intelligence and a lack of confidence. Okay, all three. Yep. All three was resonating with y'all today. What's up? Let's see. Lack of confidence because we're waiting on certainty. Yes, that's a big takeaway, major one. We're waiting. Susan. And that lack of confidence because we're waiting on certainty. It's so crazy. Like we think we're gonna wake up with super ready on our chest. Like guaranteed, like this is the result you're about to get when you launch the bit. This is the result you're about to get when you put yourself out there. This is the result. Ain't nobody said that. Okay. Hey, thank you, old pal. Come on now. I got my first super chat on YouTube, y'all. I just really feel like we just went to the next level. Okay. Somebody just paid me for some gems today. Oh, pal, thank you for your super chat, honey. Okay. And this is so crazy. I done had super chat turned on for maybe a year now, and I just got my first one. That means I did my thing today. How should I treat myself? Oh, I made a batch of vegan salt and sugar-free granola bars yesterday. I'm gonna get an extra bite today. Thank you, old pal. I'm $1.99 richer, and I'd just like to say, get like me. Um, Susan said, woo, child. I wasn't expecting this today, but obviously I need to hear it. Thank you. You're so welcome. This is so good. Sadie, thank you. Loving the keynote, especially the emotional intelligence. Hey, it's a big thing. You did a thing today and did. Listen, I was on and ready for y'all. This message, can I tell you guys the origin of today's message actually? This is a wonderful plug for my book that'll be coming out. Today's message came from a whole chapter in my book. Matter of fact, hold on, let me show y'all something. Today's message, y'all want to see this? Look at this. Hold on. So this is me like editing. This is like the third version of the book that I've been editing, right? So I'm going through it like pen line by line. And let me show you guys really quickly where today's message came from. I wrote this in the book and I was like, let me pluck this out of the book and literally teach it to them today for Monday Morning Keynote. And so it came to me. I mean, I chose it on Friday, but it came to me long ago when I wrote it. But look at this. Oh, wait a minute. There's a glare. Let me see if y'all can see this on. Do y'all see where that says 3 barriers to alignment, chapter 31, 3 barriers to alignment. And it says obedience requires audacity, not privilege. Do y'all see that? That's literally where today's lessons came from. Did y'all see it on IG? I think y'all saw it up there on IG. Yeah. That's literally where I was like, I was editing that chapter in the book. So those of you, when the book comes out and you guys get the book, everything I taught today will be broken down in the book, right? Lack of audacity, lack of confidence, and lack of EQ, emotional intelligence. And when I was editing that last week, I was like, I started to just make it a reel on Instagram. I started to just do a short post about it, but I was like, nah, we need to go in depth on this one. And so that's where today's message came from. So the divine download about those three things came long ago when I first wrote them in the book. But the message to like deliver it in this format and not just make it a short, it's a short sound bite came. So, I mean, I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful. So I'm hoping it was, Terrence said chapter 31. And Terrence, I'm editing. I'm pretty sure it won't be chapter 31 when it's all said and done. Because as I'm writing the chapters, I feel are too short. So I'm going to, put some of them together. So I think it'll be a different chapter probably by the time the book comes out and all the additional editing happens. But oh my God, I'm so excited. Seven Butterfly Dreams on YouTube said, "Where is the pre-sale link?" Listen, I was thinking about that. I gotta talk to the team about that because I'm like, I know we do pre-sales. Can we do a pre-sale where I just drip y'all some chapters? You know what I'm saying? Drip y'all some chapters and y'all really start getting the raw version of this, because now I'm like shopping editors and doing all this stuff, and I'm like, this is probably going to be a bit longer than I anticipated. But I want y'all to know I work on it every single week. Like I worked on the book today. Literally, I edited chapter 32 today. So I'm actively working. It's not stalled. But the next thing I got to do, I just found out, is like I got to write a book proposal. And I'm like, I didn't even know that. I'm like, I thought this was the only part I had to do. I thought this was the only part I had to do. Turns out it's not. So actively working over here. So thank you guys for that. Thank you for somebody who says, give me the pre-sale link. I'm going to do something special for y'all. When I have like what's it called? Like a timeline. What's it called? Like a date, release date. That's what I'm looking for. When I have a release date and I feel more confident that you won't just be waiting to infinity and beyond, then we'll start doing pre-sale. Like, okay, coming in October, even if it was coming in December and I knew definitively that it was, because I don't like taking nobody's money and not knowing when I can deliver, because I'm used to, delivering immediately. And so I just don't want nobody waiting. And then I don't want the excitement to die down either. And so, when I have a release date, even if it's like 8 months out, that's when we'll start the run up, and I'll be like, okay, now we can put it on sale. We got the release date, we got the book designed, we got all that stuff. And so apparently there's so much more to this than I thought, and it's kind of on my nerve. I'm be honest with you. Like, I'm like, I thought I did the hard part. Now you got to do all this other stuff, right? So anyway. I'll read the pre-sale. Yeah, listen. So that's why I'm like, let me at least drip some, nuggets from the chapters to you guys on YouTube and on Instagram and on social media, so that you guys, that I'm working diligently to make this a fire production for y'all. Fire production. First book might be last, because who has the time? But anyway, so that was today. Chronic stress is a result of misalignment. At the root of misalignment is a lack of audacity, a lack of confidence, and a lack of emotional intelligence. Did this bless y'all today? Consistency over comfort says, great job, Lisa. You are so impressive, my friend. I think I can call you that now. And can. And can. Don't y'all get to calling me don't get to calling me impressive now, honey. The ego is fragile and it will blow up right in front of you. Like, what? And I got my first super chat today, $4.99. Y'all better quit playing with me. That's going towards my next cup of tea. Thank you, old pal. So I love y'all. Y'all have a phenomenal rest of your holiday, for those of you who are off. And one more announcement. For those of you who are doing our 30-day vegan, salt, oil, and sugar-free challenge with us right now, this is January 19th. We're 19 days into the challenge. I cannot wait to bless y'all tonight. Y'all know we're doing a pop-up live stream inside a Clarity community. The challenge is free. The live stream is free. It's open to general admission and VIP. There's no paywall. There's no barrier. And so for those of you who are going to be on my live stream tonight, we're live streaming inside of the community. We are not, I won't be on YouTube. You know, it won't be on Zoom. We're live streaming inside of Clarity Community. I think only 86 of y'all on RSVP so far. So if you're in the challenge, please get into the portal and RSVP. Please, please, please don't forget, because tonight, guess what? Divine download. I just got this divine download yesterday. So tonight I'm going to be talking about stress from a different angle. I'm going to be talking about when healthy habits become stressful, or how they become stressful. So I thought I had 3 tips to give y'all. God gave me 3 more, y'all. So I got six juicy tips to give y'all on how not to let stress become, or not how not to let your health become stressful. Like when you're trying to eat right and cook right and shop right, you're trying to read labels, you're trying to exercise too. Then they say, oh, you should be meditating, you should be doing some mindfulness, and you got all this stuff. And that can become a whole thing that adds more stress if you don't manage it all properly. So I'm gonna teach you I got 6 things, unless guy might give me a 1 or 2 more before tonight. But tonight at 6:30 p.m. EST, Monday, January 19th, we're live streaming, me and Kiwi, inside of the Clarity community. Make sure you're on. I am gonna teach you 6 ways not to let a healthy lifestyle, become overwhelming and stressful. There's actually a name for it. I gotta look it up. I used to teach on it before, but it's slipping my mind right now. But there's a name for what happens when you become like obsessed with eating healthy, and it becomes like a thing where you're like, I don't want to mess this up, I don't want to get it wrong, and it turns into a stressor. There's an actual name for it. I'll have it by tonight. But I'm going to teach you 6 ways to avoid that. And then, as I promised you guys on Saturday, for the first time in history, I'm going to release a coupon code for Farm to Table, our plant-based coaching program. Now, I have never in the history of Farm to Table given out a coupon code. I give it away for free. I've given out a full scholarship, but I don't just be like, buy now and get 30% off. Like, no, right? We've given alumni discounts for people who took it before and they're coming to take it again. We've blessed people like that. But as far as just to the public, I've never done that. But I announced last week that this year, 2026, will be the last year that I'm going to teach Farm to Table. And because it's going to be the last year that I'm teaching Farm to Table, I decided to do something really special so that we can get as many people in and get blessed as possible. Like, Farm to Table is our signature plant-based coaching program in my company that we've used to help countless people improve their health, their mindset, their belief systems, get into community, learn from us, learn the science, but then also allow me to adjust your mindset around who you are and what you're capable of, because it's about way more than nutrition. And so for those of you who want to take Farm to Table with me, for those of you who want to take Farm to Table again, I know I have some alumni that it's been years since you took it and you want to come back. Tonight, Lord help me, during the live stream inside of Clarity, I'm going to, for the first time in history, release a coupon for you guys to use, release a discount code for you guys to use to get into Farm to Table for this final semester. And I'm teaching it February 17th through May 5th. It's 12 weeks. And so I want to make sure you guys can get in. And so be on the live stream tonight. So when we drop that code, you can get it ASAP Rocky. Okay, ASAP Rocky. So make sure you get in tonight for the live stream. So I'm going to tell you 6 things to not let trying to be healthy become stressful. 6 things you need to do to avoid being healthy becoming stressful. And then I'm going to open up Farm to Table for enrollment with a discount. I'm still like, it's such a part of my ethos at the company that we don't offer like discounts. Like, it's because we're a service-based business, I could never logically make sense of it. Like, I could understand a product-based business offering discounts. Like, I could understand like, okay, well, it cost me $10 to make this t-shirt. I sell it for $50. I could still afford to give another $10 off and get a profit. Like, I guess my brain is so linear sometimes. I'm so cerebral that stuff has to make some type of black and white sense. So as a service-based business, I'm like, if I give you a discount on my coaching or our coaching programs, or private coaching with me, I don't understand the discount for me. Like I understand the discount for you, but I'm still going to give you all of me. Like I understand it's a courtesy, but it's just hard for me to understand why I would do that because my my IP hasn't changed. It's like I can make sense of it with a physical product. It costs me this much to make. I sell it to you for this much. There's room in the profit for me to give you a little discount. But with my coaching and with my curriculum and with all of the frameworks and content that I create to teach you guys, I'm like, let me get this straight. I'm giving you the whole trifecta of transformation. I'm giving you the whole radical obedience framework. Like I'm giving you, I'm giving you the whole best method. I have so many frameworks that I teach to help people in different areas. And you want a discount, but I'm giving you the whole thing. I don't get it. So anyway, so I'm doing something that makes me uncomfortable tonight, but I want to do it because this is the last year that I'm teaching Farm to Table plant-based coaching program. It's been around since 2016. We have results upon results, receipts upon receipts, testimonials upon testimonials. So results guaranteed is like an understatement. I wish there was a better way to say results guaranteed. Because you're going to get some work messing with me and the team. Like you're going to be led by myself, Coach Milan, Coach Tiff for this semester. And so for those of you who want to be in there and want a little hookup, I'm calling it the hookup. And for those of you who want a little hookup, make sure you're on a live stream tonight inside the Clarity community. Does anybody need the link to the Clarity community if you're not in there? Some way, somehow I can find it and get it. Thank you. You too, Stacy. Stacy says, see you tonight. Enjoy your day. You as well. If anybody needs the link to the Clarity community so that you can join, I think I can drop it in the chat. If I see anybody that's not in, let me know before we hop off. And I can definitely grab it so you don't miss tonight's live stream. Like I said, it's free. Doesn't charge. We have a free tier in our community so you can come in and you'll be good. Okay. Doesn't look like anyone needs it per se. Maybe should I just have it in the comments for the replayers? Oh, crapola. What is the link? Help me, help me. Oh, Terrence says, yes, please. Okay, Terrence, I got you, buddy. How are you, by the way? What's up, Terrence? Hold on, y'all. I think I might have it right here, actually. Let me see. I got you, Terrence. Give me 1 second, and then we'll be wrapping this thing up. Let me get the link. Oh, okay. Instagram needs it too. I got you. No worries. Let me grab it here. And then I got you. Okay. Susan said, got it. Oh, thank you, Kiwi. Man, whoo, child, I'm over here like, what email, what, what link inside of Clarity? Child, thank you, Kiwi. So Kiwi just dropped it in the chat. Did you guys get it? Do you guys see it? Let's click on that, make sure it works and that you're good so that you can join Clarity. This is our community dedicated to the elimination of chronic stress, optimizing your health, and helping you live a life of radical obedience. Okay, so that means we're not just inching our way, we're not just putting our toe in the water of obedience, but we're being radical to what God is calling us to do. And so if you need that, if you want to be in that ecosystem, right, you can make a decision later whether or not you need to increase your proximity to us by paying for a higher level in the community. But just get in the community, get on that free live stream tonight. And some of you guys need Farm to Table. You need to be in my 12-week coaching program that's going to start February 17th. And so I'm going to drop a discount code for it tonight during the live stream. What should we do about Instagram, Kiwi? Let me see. Did you drop it in the chat over there? Hold on, Insta. Natural length. Natural length and Irie daughter 3484. Monique, can you guys, because I know links in the chat on Instagram are not hyperlinked. Let me take a screenshot and I can DM it to you guys because I don't wanna mess this up. How you take a screenshot? Nope, that didn't do it. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm back. Hold on. So natural length, Irie daughter, blessings of sunshine, Kiwi. Okay, so hold on. Kiwi is about to drop the link on Instagram for you guys, but I know it's not hyperlink. That's the thing about Instagram, right? I know on YouTube it's clickable, but not on Instagram. And so I should have had an automation set up where you could just drop a keyword in his DM to you, but I don't. So Kiwi is about to drop the link, but also Kiwi, can you take a screenshot of those individuals? Blessings of Sunshine, Natural Length, Monique, Irie Daughter, and let's so I can have their screen names and I can DM them in case they don't copy the link properly or something like that. Okay. Thank you guys on YouTube. Thank you, thank you. Love you guys. Um, okay. Kiwi says she dropped it, but also let's grab their names just in case. So you guys can come into the ecosystem, hop on that live stream tonight, and make sure everybody's good. Okay. Okay, I think that's it. Is there any questions? Let's just do some admin stuff as you guys hop off. Is there any questions about the live stream tonight? It starts at 6:30 p.m. EST. I'm live streaming inside of our Clarity community. Coming into the community doesn't cost you anything. I'm going to be teaching you guys 6 things that you can actively do right now, like starting today, to avoid health becoming stressful. Okay, health becoming stressful. So you're on a health journey. You want to optimize your health. You want to eliminate chronic stress. You want to lose weight. You want to get off medications. You want to feel better. Whatever it is, but the things that you have to do for that can become stressful and add more pressure, more overwhelm, and now you feel more stretched. And I don't want that for you guys, right? I know our challenge is a big undertaking for some people, and I don't want you guys to feel that pressure. And so I'm going to teach you 6 things that I've put in place, that I've helped our students put in place so that it doesn't feel so overwhelming. So if you want to learn that, I'm going to teach that tonight, January 19th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, inside of Clarity. So I won't be on YouTube. I won't be on Instagram. We'll be live streaming. It won't be on Zoom. Okay, so you got to be in the community. We have our own community platform that we can live stream within. Okay, and so if there's any questions before I hop off, drop your questions. Drop your questions. Okay. Kiwi, are we getting the screenshots of the people's name? Because people are steadily coming in on Instagram saying, me too. Who was that? Lisa Carter Speaks. What's up? So let's just make sure we got it. We got it. We got it. We got it. Yeah, Malika, I can put the link in my bio, but you know how you ask people like, well, send me a DM or go click the link in my bio, and then people forget or it changes because I got to update my bio, right? So, and it's a join community link. It's a whole thing. But anyway, I will update my bio, but I want to make sure we can reach out to those people too. Okay. So, thank you, Key. Man, so we'll give that a minute. Make sure we got all of their names, couple screenshots, whatever it is. And I'll update my bio too, guys, but you guys got to give me time to end the live. Then I got to go to my bio and I got to put it in my link tree and all of that stuff. So I can totally do that. Or you can shoot me a DM right now. If you're watching on Instagram, you can just go to hit my name, go to my DMs and say, give me the link for the community and we got you. Okay. Okay, I think that's it. Today was phenomenal. I had a phenomenal time. Let's do this again sometime. Oh, look at there. We will. Next Monday at 10 a.m. EST. Just for those of you who don't know, I'm here every Monday live, Monday Morning Keynote with yours truly at 10 a.m. EST here on YouTube. I've recently started going live on Instagram again. No promises that it'll continue on IG, but YouTube, we locked in. And so I will see you guys back here same time next Monday. By next Monday, the discount will have ended for Farm to Table. So make sure y'all got to work with me now. I'm giving y'all a discount, but it ain't no indefinite discount. Now, my nerves, okay? So please, please, please make sure that you are on the live tonight so you can get that discount and that you can get what you need to join Farm to Table if you know you need to be coached by me. in the next season of your health. Shaquanda says, once in the Clarity community, we should register for the live tonight. Yes, but even if you're in there, you'll get notified that we're live, even if you don't RSVP. Now, I do know how to grab that link, Shaquanda. So if somebody has not RSVP for tonight, let me give you the link. Now that I am capable. Okay. So link to RSVP for tonight. Boom. I think I did it. Okay, so that's the link to RSVP for tonight, Shaquanda. So share it with people who are on their health journey too, and they need some tips, they need some help with navigating. So that's the link to RSVP. So even if you guys aren't in the community, if you click that link, it'll prompt you to set up an account first. You just name and email, and then you'll be able to RSVP for tonight's live stream, which is called Consistency versus Chronic Pressure, when healthy habits start creating stress. So consistency versus chronic pressure, what to do when healthy habits start creating stress. So that's what I'm going to be talking about tonight. And so we only got 86 people RSVP. That's wild, because we got over 400 people in the community. We got 87 RSVP. So somebody needs to fix it. Okay, so y'all get in here and RSVP ASAP Rocky. Okay. What's up, Terrence? Already clicked the link and got in that thing. That's what I'm talking about. Tiara, welcome to the community. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so you guys are in, and we will have a good time tonight. So make sure you RSVP. B said, I'll be there. Amen. Okay, I think that's everything. Any other questions that I missed? Let me double check before we hop off. You guys are getting the link on Instagram. DM me if for any reason we miss you. Shoot me a link and say, I need the live stream tonight and that discount code to Farm to Table. Okay. Oh, Sandy, you said the link says what time? Oh, you know what? I think you're right. It is 6 p.m. EST. I said 6:30. I'm thinking about our challenge. Our challenge starts at 6:30. So, Sandy, you are correct. The live stream tonight starts at 6 p.m. Eastern, not 6:30. 6 p.m. Eastern, not 6:30. I am thinking about the challenge. So our challenge on Wednesday evening starts at 6:30. So this is a bonus live stream in the challenge. And so we're doing it a little earlier. So you're right, Sandy. Thank you for catching that. Lorraine said, attending. Amen. Amen, Lorraine. Okay. So 6 p.m. EST, January 19th, I'm teaching how not to let healthy habits become stressful. And I got some good tips for y'all, because this is stuff I actually have done for myself, because I've experienced that, where it's like, oh my God, I feel so much pressure to get everything right. I got to eat my plants. I got to drink my water. I got to get my exercise in. I got to get my mindfulness, but I'm on vacation, but I'm traveling, but this unexpected thing happened, and like, right. And so I don't want you getting healthy, stressful, you know what I mean? Stressed out about it. And so we're going to help you. We're going to help you make it shake and make it happen. So once you get into the community, which is free, just click on live class and event, and then you'll see all the upcoming events. And the one for tonight will be the first one. Just hit that RSVP button. You'll be notified when we are live streaming me and Kiwi. So get ready, as they say. Okay, I think that's it. Like, batteries are running down on my phone and all of the things. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. Plus, I think my fast is over and it's feeding time. Okay. Yep, Terrence. Yay. Okay, perfect. All right, this has been a phenomenal Monday morning keynote. Love you guys. Can't wait to see those of you who are going to come to the free live stream tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern. Y'all going to make MLK proud today by being nice to somebody. Okay, nonviolent. Till tomorrow, then I'm back on my Malcolm. You hear me? Okay, bye, y'all. Have a good one.